Dear colleagues, what I'm going to share with you at this summit today is going to mark a turning point in the history of emotional healing. Mental health professionals have been toiling in the trenches, healing emotions. And it's been impossible to keep up because trauma has been rising exponentially. You've seen the numbers. Here they are. That red line that's spiking up, that's a composite weighted average across all categories of trauma: death, disease, disaster, divorce, sexual violence, school shootings, bullying, everything. Emotional healing? Well, that would be the blue line way down here, which hardly rises across the decades. We have an epidemic of unhealed emotions. Now, I want to take a moment to ground us in a social anthropological understanding of this epidemic so that we can see our way out. Okay? This photo was taken in 1976 in an Indian village before the spike. The woman that you see lying on the cot is wailing. She just learned that her husband died a couple hours ago. And the other 20 or so women that you see immediately gathered around her bedside to support her healing. That world doesn't exist anymore. Now contrast that. This photo was taken in 2005 in a quiet residential neighborhood of Oakland, California. The woman you see crouched on the sidewalk alone is sobbing. She just learned that her son was killed in the Iraq War. And her other son that lived at home insisted that she not cry. No one there to comfort her in her grief. You see, as villages, tribes, and extended families have died out, so have our traditional healing practices. And we've tried to fill the void, setting up programs, institutions, even the entire profession of psychotherapy. All of that has not been able to replace the traditional healing practices. So we're left with an enormous amount of unhealed emotion that then results in even more incidences of trauma, and the cycle continues. We need a different approach. We need a revolutionary approach. You see, our current paradigm has been focused on healing distressing emotions. Now that's all fine if we can keep up, but clearly we haven't been able to. So I want you to imagine that there were no distressing emotions at all. Nothing to heal. Well, my dear colleagues, that distress-free world is now possible. My team at the Pain-Free Institute has developed the technology over the last 41 years to extinguish distressing emotions completely. I now present to you our state-of-the-art distress exorcism chamber. This is our updated model. We've redesigned it to manufacture for the market with your endorsement, of course. And with comfort in mind, we've included a contoured memory foam pad, as well as removable, machine washable satin lining. Now, the subject simply lies in the chamber for 90 minutes daily over a 12-week period. Now, I won't get into the intricacies, but suffice it to say that our patented technology deactivates the psychic center responsible for distressing emotions. You can think of it as the psychic equivalent to lobotomy. My personal vision is that we have distress exorcism chamber salons in every neighborhood, much like yoga studios today. So our chamber has been fully tested. We administered the 12-week chamber treatment protocol to 1,944 subjects. Here's the data. And as you can see, absolutely no distress whatsoever. So we subsequently conducted a longitudinal study over a 37-year period on 14 subjects. All of those 14 received the 12-week chamber treatment protocol. And then we subjected each of them to a series of stressful provocations. Here's the data. As you can see, absolutely no distress response whatsoever. All right, so those are the numbers. But I want to leave you with a feeling for just how powerful this chamber really is. So I'm going to now walk you through one test case. An Indian descent female, born in 1965, named Kiran. She grew up in a white middle-class suburb of Detroit. Now, when she was 13, she received the 12-week chamber treatment protocol. And then just months after that, we gave her her first provocation. We planted Diane, a white, brown-haired female, in Kiran's 8th grade biology class. Here's the video clip. You can see Diane seated just to the right of Kiran. Now she's getting up, walking through the aisle, pencil in hand, to the back of the classroom. Okay, she's sharpening her pencil. And now as she makes her way down the aisle back to her seat, watch, it's coming up soon, okay? Ah, there it is. Did you see that? Diane nonchalantly tugging Kiran's right braid before taking her seat. Let me pause here. So the frequency and duration of that provocation was weekly for 4 months. That's 17 braid tugs. And, you know, normally you would expect a moderate distress response. But what's absolutely remarkable is our subject was completely unfettered. She just continued quietly working on her assignment. Watch. Oh dear. That is not Kiran that swung her arms at Diane and toppled her own desk over. Believe me, okay, I see what happened. That's our control subject, a look-alike that received the same provocation but did not get the chamber treatment. I see what happened. My assistant Alexia must have inadvertently mixed up the video clips. I truly apologize for that. But let's go to the next provocation. This one was in 9th grade. Our plant was a white, brown-haired male in Kiran's 9th grade Spanish class. Here's the video clip. It's from the hallway facing the doorway of the classroom. There's the bell. So in a moment, all the kids will start coming out. And I'll point out, okay, so there's Kiran with the poofy hair. For some reason, she had her braids cut off. And okay, the scrawny kid with the scraggly hair, that's now leaning into Kiran's ear. That's John. You can't hear him very well with all the other kids being loud. So let me just pause and tell you, for this provocation, we pre-selected ethnic slurs and rotated them on a monthly schedule. That month was November. That's the month that we had John saying go back to where you came from. Now, the frequency and duration of that provocation was daily for 6 months. Not counting holidays and weekends, that's 120 ethnic slurs. For me, this seals the deal. Because after that much consistent provocation, even in that 6th month, our subject, it's like she heard nothing. She just confidently made her way through the sea of white kids to her next class. Watch. Oh my, Alexia mixed up the clips again. I really apologize. I will have a talk with her. Clearly that's not Kiran. That's our lookalike control subject that grabbed John by the collar and slammed him against the locker. Anyhow, moving along, we wanted to be sure that our chamber would be effective even in extreme trauma. Therefore, when our subject was 24, we arranged for the man that she thought she'd spend her life with to break up with her. And then 4 days later, we arranged for a stranger to corner her and threaten to bash her skull in with a sledgehammer. And 8 days after that, we arranged for one of her close friends to stop returning her calls. Now, because of the severity of these triple traumas, we decided to augment the basic 12-week chamber treatment protocol with doses of social conditioning. And with this subject, that was administered by her father. Here's an example. Beta, I know you went through too much, but if you cry, it will just make the pain more. Just be strong. Don't cry, okay? Daya, oh Daya, jara pani le aao je. Ja, go wash your face. Mummy's going to bring you some water to drink. And then we'll go for ice cream, okay? Wow, I love that ice cream add-on to the social conditioning. We'll have to include that next time. Watch just how beautifully Kiran settles down. The crying won't make the pain worse. It'll help release it. I have to cry to heal. Dad, listen to me. I don't need ice cream and I don't want water. I just need to cry. And I'd rather do it with you, holding me. But if I have to leave to cry, I will. Let go. Let go of my arm. Why is Alexia mixing up the clips? Oh, please, stay seated. Put your bags back down. I promise this really just happened once. Our subject was short on sleep. And keep in mind, she underwent extreme trauma. We immediately gave her a chamber booster. She settled down right away. Thank you. It'll just be a few more minutes. We wanted to cover all the bases. Therefore, we tested the emotional distress response to physical pain. When our subject was 31, living alone in Albuquerque, we infected her with the chickenpox virus, which, as you may know, is excruciating in adults, 10 times more so than in children. And what's absolutely amazing, during the 2 weeks that she was quarantined alone in her apartment, she used the time to read, cook, clear through her paper clutter. Watch. The blisters are all over. And my whole body itches all at the same time, and I'm not supposed to scratch. It hurts so much. And I'm all alone here. Thank you for being with me, Dad. Oh, no, please don't leave. Stay seated. We just have a couple of bugs to work out. Really, we'll give our septic a chamber booster and she'll settle down. We'll organize the clips. You'll have the first dibs on endorsing the patented. Please come back. My whole life, I was preparing for this moment. This was supposed to be the turning point. How could Alexia do this after 41 years? We were this close to working the bugs out. And I can't believe I didn't see that coming. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I needed their endorsement. Nobody's going to invest without the mental health professionals behind it. I put my whole life into this. Is this the end? I'm not going to let it die. I have to figure something out. I'm so rattled. I can't even think straight. Thank you all. Whew.